Okay, great challenge this week in front of our fans at our place. AFC opponent, 2-3, just like us. We know that we're going to have to be about our business if you want to try and beat this team. As we know, they're very, very well coached. Offense, defense, and special teams, very, very sound in everything that they're doing. Bunch of good players. Offensively, not sure if we're going to see Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. We have to prepare for both guys. We saw Mac Jones last year, so we know what he's capable of. And I think this young quarterback, I'm very, very impressed with what they've done with him and how he's playing and operating right now for them. So really good group on offense. I think they're very, very physical, a huge offensive line. They are running the ball well with multiple schemes. They have very good passes off of those runs, whether it's play actions or keepers, screens. So they're very balanced, but it's a very physical group. Defensively, it's a huge challenge for our offense. They present issues in the run and the pass, multiple fronts, multiple coverages, very, very versatile football players that can align really everywhere. But good players throughout that defense. And then special teams, again, very well coached, very physical. Kickers kicking at a high level as he's been for many years. So just a good specialist, dangerous returner. So everything adds up to a great challenge. And I think that's what our guys are focused on right now in our meetings, in our walkthrough, in our practice, is making sure that we prepare really, really hard this week, because it's going to be a very big challenge. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Coach, is the goal to get Deion Jones ready for Sunday?
Yeah, hard to say, Tom. We'll see. I wouldn't rule him out at this point, but just met him for the first time yesterday and learning some of our terminology. There is some carryover with what he did with DQ down in Atlanta, so he does have a basis of knowledge for what we're doing, but need to see him practice all those things. Yeah, not a whole lot different. They're running the ball really well. They're efficient in their run game. He's got a very good understanding in the pass game of where to go with the ball. So some of the drop back, it's progression reads where he's getting through it quickly, getting the ball out of his hands in a timely fashion. So I think they're running their offense truly, regardless of who the quarterback is. I think both guys are very talented.
The fact that Jones has played 5 years or so, how much will that make it easier for him to?
Who's that, Jeff?
Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. Okay, yeah.
How much easier will that make it for him to just acclimate himself to your defense?
Yeah, I think it's a process, and it's different for each guy. Deion's a very smart football player, very intelligent, has been in a similar system, so we'll see how much he can catch up. Like I said, we just really got to get to meetings with him yesterday, so it's crash course like it is when you acquire a player mid-season, and we'll see what he can handle.
What about the nose tackle? Is he in the same situation?
Who's that?
The nose tackle you picked up?
Tyler Davison. Yeah, I think all those guys, I'd say with all of them, Tony, you're kind of just getting out there, get into practice, see where they are physically, see where they are mentally, and those type of things.
What does it say that you needed to pick up a nose tackle? Was that a blind spot on the roster?
Yeah, did we put him on the practice squad, or is he on the roster? Practice squad. Yeah, I think, as you know with us, we're always adding guys to the practice squad and taking a look at players. So that's it.
Kevin, do you have any worry about Cade's state of mind this week?
No, I don't.
The Patriots, Stevenson, coming off a career game. I mean, I know he gave you guys problems last year. Just how difficult of a back is he to defend, especially his ability to pick up yards after contact?
Yeah, very, very impressive running back, Ashley. I mean, powerful, good feet for a power back, can carry the load, good in their run types that they're running with him. I really think he can gap scheme, he can run wide zone, but runs behind his pads, physical football player.
Kobe earlier, he just kind of laid it out there and said, it's not that defenses are stopping us on offense, it's we're stopping ourselves at times, even though playing well more often than not. Do you feel that same way, Kevin, that offensively you guys at times have beaten yourselves as opposed to a defense?
Yeah, well, first, I'd always give credit to the opponent. Now, having said that, you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to be successful on offense and not have mistakes, whatever they are, to hold yourself back, because we've played some really good defenses. We're going to play some really good defenses. We're playing a really good one this week. So you really do have to control what you can control on your side and try to be as sound and as disciplined as you are, because these are challenging fronts and coverages that you face week in and week out.
I have a couple of injury questions for you. How's Denzel doing? Is he in the building?
Yeah, he's in the protocol, but he's working through it.
He's ruled out
I
for
really
Sunday?
don't. I don't know.
Okay. And Davian, it looks like you got a couple extra injuries added
Yeah.
to the thing. How's he doing?
He's going to rest today. He plays through a lot of things, as you know, but he's resting and he's recovering.
He didn't suffer any significant setback to the ankle playing
No.
Sunday?
No.
Thomas Durango, corner, you expect Greedy to be ready to play this week?
Yeah, I think it's trending that way. Again, just got back to practice last week, but I want to give him the chance to get through these next few days. But he looks good.
You give up 200 yards in back-to-back games on the ground, and Andrew Berry quickly, within 24 hours, makes a couple of defensive roster moves. Is there a little message to be sent to the guys on that side of the ball as well?
No, we don't send messages like that. And you can imagine a lot of those moves are being discussed over weeks. So I wouldn't read into that.
Key for game plan for scheme. You talk about the defense. Is it different facing Belichick, who's been doing this for so long?
Yeah, well, I think for whenever you're playing any defense, if you go back and watch 100 games, you're going to have to be preparing for a lot of scheme. We go back and you can watch 4 games, you can go back and watch 10, you can watch all of last season. So they're really good at giving you multiple looks, playing multiple coverages. And I think what's most impressive, and they've always done this, is just having versatile football players that really can line up anywhere. So they can give you a look at a sub that looks like their base. They can get in base and give you a look that maybe you weren't anticipating. So that's a credit to their coaches, a credit to their players, and able to mix up their looks.
Is Matthew Judon to handle, and how well is he playing right now?
Yeah, great player. We've played against him, playing at a very high level. Mary Kay, he rushes the passer he's savvy, but he's also just very athletic. I mean, just watch him chasing people down and how fast he is and long. So I think he's a great combination of size, speed, athleticism, but also a really good awareness in his rushes.
I know it's been a few years since Jacoby was with the Patriots, but is there any advantage to your quarterback having some institutional knowledge about that organization and specifically what that defense may do?
I really don't think so. Jacoby was there, some years ago. He knows some of the coaches, some of the players, but offenses, defenses evolve over the years. So, of course, there's some familiarity, but it's not like they haven't changed either.
I think you noted that tackling was an issue, and a lot of the guys after the game said they expected it to be an emphasis in practice. How have you seen those guys kind of respond to having to get back to those fundamentals during practice and really take that lesson on?
Yeah, it will be today. We'll do some extra, and you drill fundamentals every single day, and you talk about them, and you drill them, and you watch tape, and I think so much of this game can be distilled down to fundamentals and techniques. So certainly for our defense and for a football team, tackling is a huge part of that. So we can't ever lose sight of that.
Just to clarify, you're going to do extra tackling drills today? Is that what you mean by that? Or?
We'll do. I don't want to overstate it either, but we'll have extra emphasis. Put it that way.
Rush here, Kevin, but is it a technique thing or is it like a mental effort thing when it comes to the missed tackles?
Yeah, listen, there's some very good ball carriers, so you are going to miss tackles, but that's where being relentless to the football and having 11 guys running the ball can help that. But it always does go down to tracking, ultimately tracking, putting yourself in good position, and then the techniques when you arrive at the ball carrier.
You can't tackle in live practice, certainly understand that. But how do you practice tackling?
Yeah, again, we drill tackling every day, so this is not something new, but we're going to just make a renewed emphasis as a group, some of the different techniques that we need to work on, just sharpen up. Not too dissimilar to when you're on the other side and there's a certain combination block that you didn't do quite as well as you think you should. Pretty simply, you just make sure that you drill it the next week.
What do you see as the major difference in the Patriots offense with McDaniels not there and Matt Patricia calling the plays?
Yeah, that's a good question, Tony. I think, I know Coach Patricia. I have a ton of respect for him and what he's done, and having competed against him over the years. Joe Judge, I know well, awesome football coach. So they have some really good, talented coaches, and I think you can see them putting together some really good plans where the run game marries up with the pass game. You got to defend the run, obviously, just with how physical they are, but they certainly know how to scheme guys open in the pass game off of that run game.
We've asked you for 7 months about the value of Jacoby's experience. I'm trying to find another way to ask this question.
Good luck.
Given that he's had 3 late game interceptions, you've talked about how tough he is on himself and how you have not lost any trust or confidence that he's up for those moments. How helpful is that to have that guy with that kind of experience base that can kind of move past it?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, you're playing quarterback in this league. I think we all recognize how hard that is, and there are going to be moments that you absolutely have to bounce back from, and just the makeup that Jacoby has and the things he's seen, the things he's been through, I have no doubt in my mind that he will be ready to go on Sunday.
When you talk about the challenge of facing the Belichick coach team, did you learn anything or have anything driven home during that matchup a year ago?
I mean, we didn't do anything right. Let me start there. Offense, defense, special teams. We did not play anywhere near a sound football game, a complete football game, and it got away from us. So this is a team that you can't beat yourself ever in the NFL. You can't beat yourself against a Patriots team. They're well coached. They're not going to beat themselves. So you got to be about your business.